Hi guys, it's Holly and today I am going to be talking about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So if you've been living under a rock, the Switch came out on Friday and this is actually the first console I've ever had on the day, on the day of release. So it's been really exciting to play, and Zelda I have sunk probably about 14 hours into already. So I'd like to say I've played quite a bit of the game and I sort of know what I'm doing now. However, with like any open world sort of RPG kind of game, there's always going to be things that you should and shouldn't do, or like things that you don't need to do. So today I am going to be talking about 10 things not to do in Breath of the Wild. And some of these are going to be obvious and some of them you're going to be like, Holly, we know this. If you play for 30 minutes you would realise this, but not everyone will know this, and some of them I think are a little bit more useful than others, so yeah. Okay, so number one is when you are climbing, try not to jump because you actually use up a lot of stamina for jumping. It's actually better for you to just take your time and climb up whatever it is. It actually also applies to swimming. You don't need to jump to these ledges, you can just slowly work your way up. Number two is don't sell your ancient parts. Now, it may seem like there's loads of them. Ancient parts are what you get from sort of derelict guardians and sort of alive guardians really, but I think I found most of them at first just by looking at the carcasses of the guardians. Don't sell these yet unless you really have to, because they're really good for you to upgrade things later on in the game. It's annoying when you sell things that you're actually going to need, and then it might seem like there's loads of them, but then when you need them they might not be there and you might be like, I can't find any. Where have they gone? Number three is don't always go for the first horse you see. Now, there is a part in the game called the Dueling Peak Stables, I think. It's a horse that will respond to your call. Don't go for the first horse you see, and I say this because they all have different stats and temperaments. So you might find a horse that can be, I don't know what the word is, I don't want to say whipped, but you know, with the little like whipping thing. Some of them will be able to only be whipped a couple of times, so it's good to find which one is going to be the best, especially with their temperament. Like my horse is gentle. Other horses that are, you know, sort of ill-tempered, they can kick you off and they are likely to be more disobedient. So I'd say always test the waters a little bit before you commit. Number four is don't use up your Korok seeds. I think that's how you pronounce it, Korok, because these you can actually give to Hestu, who can expand your inventory, and what I will say is just make sure you expand your weapon inventory first. Yeah, he will take them and he will give you an expansion on your inventory, but I've heard that you can use them for much more, like further on in the game. So once again, like with the ancient parts, it'd be a shame if you sold them and then struggled to find them, because they are quite difficult to find anyway. Number five is a given, and that is don't skip out on talking to NPCs, because some of them will give you really good quests or free items for minimal conversation. You know, you don't have to be there, it doesn't have to be long and drawn out. You can literally just talk to them for like 2 seconds and they'll give you a quest, you can complete it and reap the benefits of it. Number six is don't sleep, or try not to sleep during the blood moon. The first time the blood moon happened to me, I was like, oh my god, what is this? Like, there's this shore and then all these monsters respawn and you're like, oh god, I've got to go kill them all again. Blood moon is really good. I suppose if you're wanting to sort of grind some items, then you can kill lots more monsters. But also, if you cook during a blood moon, then your food will actually have better stats. So if anything, if fighting isn't what you're into, then cook instead, because you're gonna get more from your food. They'll have more bonuses. Number seven is don't be afraid to cook up random ingredients. Now, when I say random ingredients, I mean like mixing an apple with a mushroom. Don't try and mix like animal guts and apples. Like, it doesn't work. You'll just get like dubious something. I can't remember what it's called, but it won't work. And you just have to be really careful. If you're wanting things to increase your health, then you really need to be mixing food. But I think there are a lot of recipes for using like other parts like frogs and, you know, stuff like that, but don't just mix anything, because I got rid of a load of like ancient artifacts because I was like, oh, I know, I'm gonna mix this with mushrooms, and then it just ended up being crap. So I was like, I'm never doing that again. And I did it again and I was an idiot. I think because it really piques your curiosity, because it's something we haven't seen before in games in general, like not the way that you can cook in Zelda anyway. Number 8 is don't try and climb slippery surfaces. when it's raining. So when it's raining, everything is a lot more slippery, and you're going to use up, like, one, you're going to use up more stamina, and two, it's just going to take you ages to get to where you want to go. Instead, there are normally dry patches around the area that you can climb up, but I find that this game, there's always more than one way to go around something. So if you can't go the obvious way, try go like a different route instead. Number 9 is don't worry too much about your weapons breaking. I know that for a lot of people this has been the most annoying aspect of the game. Weapon durability is a thing, some has more than others, and it is annoying when you find a really good sword and then it breaks when you just kill one thing. Like, that is irritating, but there will always be another one around the corner, so don't spend too much time worrying about what just broke. Instead, if you're worried about running out of weapons, then you can actually have a house, and if anything, you can just go and kill a load of bokoblins and just, or you know, lots of monsters, and just take their weapons and store it there, so you can always fast travel and go back and just get more, basically. And number 10, which I'm sure a lot of you guys learned the hard way, and I know because I learned it the hard way, don't spend too much time at the start of the game trying to kill guardians. Guardians are so freaking annoying, and guardian stalkers are even worse. The reason why I say this is because I've noticed that when you try and kill something and you die, a lot of the time you don't get back the items that you've used. It's not like you, it's sort of more like you respawn. You don't sort of go back to your last save. So that's a little bit frustrating, and like, I've bought loads of arrows in the past and used them all up, and then you just die, and it's like, it's all for nothing. Try really hard to try and ignore them. I know it's hard, I know they're really shiny, but just stay away from them, basically. Come back to them later on in the game. They're literally littered across the world. Like, it's literally like, I find them really menacing personally. That was my 10 sort of tips on what not to do in Breath of the Wild. If you have any that you sort of discovered along the way, or any of mine that you can expand on, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be really interested to see what you have to say. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!